What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 4 of the JnJreviews show, where we cover all the latest movie news, recent trailers, and review a movie for you every week. And so we're just going to jump in right here. I'm Jack. This is Jamin. Jamin, how you doing today?
Doing pretty well.
Let's get right into the movie news. We're starting off here. We just have some quick news from Marvel. We have a retitle. Originally, the next Avengers movie was going to be Infinity War Part 1, and then the next year we were going to get Part 2. Now they're dropping that. There's no more parts. The next movie is just called Avengers Infinity War, and the other one is untitled because the Russo brothers have said many times they're very different movies. They're not traditional like we see in Hollywood Part 1 Part 2. So what's your reaction to this news?
Well, to me, it's not like a huge deal that they changed it because I think we're still going to get two pretty good movies. But I think it's also good because I'm not really a big fan of the Part 1, Part 2 anyway. Everything from Harry Potter to Hunger Games, it's two I remember that were very bad. First movies because you just wanted to see what would happen in the end. It's like a whole movie cut in half and it's stupid. So I think overall it's good news. So I think the Russo brothers are probably making a good a good decision, yes, to make these movies different titles than they actually are.
Yeah, I think that's a big relief for me because, like you said, with Harry Potter and Hunger Games, usually Part 1 is like the setup, all the talking, like the whole story. Then Part 2 is just purely battles and all that. So I think I really didn't want that from Avengers because it's really just a waste of our money and time to go sit through a 2-hour movie of just people talking and then a 2-hour movie of fighting when it could have just been one movie trimmed up a little bit. But I think it's good to hear that there are two very different movies and we're not just getting one long Infinity War, we're going to get different stories, and I think that's a big relief for me because I hate Part 1 and Part 2s.
Yeah.
And then next we're going into Paul Dano, who we talked about earlier when we reviewed Swiss Army Man. He's going to be making his directorial debut next year in a movie called Wildfire, and he co-wrote the script for this. And Wildfire is based off a book. It's about a boy who watches his parents' marriage fall apart as they move to Montana. What are you thinking, our boy Paul Dano?
Well, judging by Swiss Army Man, I think he really knows the indie film type movies well. And hearing a little bit about the upcoming movie sounds like it's something that he could do really well in, and as a director, because he did fantastic in Swiss Army Man. He took kind of a simple concept and made it into a pretty darn good movie that was really shocking to me. So I think I'll definitely check out his new movie coming out because of the success he had with Swiss Army Man.
Yeah, I think he's really going to fit right in as a director because if you look at his filmography, and just he's been great in everything. But he worked with Paul Thomas Anderson on There Will Be Blood. He worked with, I don't know the guy, I can't pronounce the name, Vinny, whatever, the guy that directed Prisoners. He worked with him on Prisoners. Then he directed with the Daniels, who are these like new upcoming indie guys. So he's had a wide range of experience with directors in different roles. So I think he's going to fit right in behind the chair and knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
All right, next up, what do we have?
Disney, Rocketeer.
Oh yeah, we're getting a new, they're calling it a reboot sequel of the Rocketeer coming out, and it's kind of stirring up controversy because they're changing the lead. It was of course a white dude in the first one, and now it's a African American woman. So I mean, I personally, I know I've seen Rocketeer, but it's been years. So do you have any real reaction to this?
Well, the weird thing is I've never seen this movie. So I thought I saw basically every Disney movie there was, but no, apparently not. So I don't have a lot to say on this, but I did look up a little bit of the first one just to kind of see just kind of what it looked like. Yeah, I mean, it seemed interesting. It was set in the 90s back in the day, so you said this is 6 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that'll be interesting, and to see how an African American woman fits into the aspects and how she came to be. But again, I don't know much about the story whatsoever, so I'm going to definitely check out the first one. But I think it's good that they're bringing back a classic. Hopefully it turns out good, because when they do it, it's either going to be really a success or really a fail.
Yeah, I think as far as the casting goes, really doesn't matter to me at all, and it shouldn't matter as long as they're not just doing it to do it, like they're casting African American women to like make a point. As long as it's just goes with the story and shoots right for the part, I have no problem with it. And again, I remember liking the movie, but I haven't seen it in years. So nice to see that if they're rebooting everything, so might as well bring something back that I think they can put a more modern twist on.
Yeah.
And then finally, for movie news, we've got just some casting rumors. Tom Clancy's The Division is being made into a movie, and so far Jake Gyllenhaal is on board to star and produce it. And now we have rumors that Jessica Chastain is set to join him. What do you think?
Well, she's a fantastic actress, so I think she'll be added to a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, who's also fantastic, together to make another video game movie. But the good news is, I think these video game movies are starting to understand that you need some good actors, you need some time. So hopefully, movies like this, Assassin's Creed, actually turn to be decent. But I mean, it has somewhat of a recipe for success. So let's hope.
Yeah, we have not gotten you can argue some of them, but really we have not gotten a universally accepted and good video game movie yet. Warcraft was hoping to do that, but based on box office and reviews, it definitely did not. I have no interest in seeing that. But then we got, you said later this year, Assassin's Creed, and then this, so maybe the tide's somewhat turning for video game movies. I hope it does, because I mean, there's good potential with the stories and everything you can do with it, and Jake Gyllenhaal, and if Jessica Chastain's on board, that's a great cast to do it.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's it for the movie news. Now we're getting into we got a bunch of trailers this week, and we're starting off with the new M. Night Shyamalan movie, Split. And did you see The Visit last year?
I think I caught some of it. I didn't really finish it. I mean, I wasn't too into it, but I know some people were, definitely.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, because I think it was it's not a great movie, but for M. Night Shyamalan, it's fantastic, because from what he's been doing recently, this is definitely a step in the right direction. And this trailer for Split stars James McAvoy, and he has, I think they say, 28 different personalities, and he kidnaps these girls, and he has the personalities. I think this looks really cool.
Yeah, I always say originality is really important, and I think this movie is definitely original with this personality thing. It's definitely strange. It's definitely kind of a thriller type, and I think it'll be really an interesting take and an interesting little movie something we've never seen before, and it should offer a pretty exciting movie in the theater.
Yeah, because again, this looks like another good step for M. Night Shyamalan trying to get back to being a respected director again. James McAvoy looks like he gets to give a great performance, like the 28 personalities. He's going to be great. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Not getting it till I think January of 2017, so definitely we'll be looking forward to that one.
Yep.
And next we got Mel Gibson coming back to the director's chair with Hacksaw Ridge, which is a true story, and it's got Andrew Garfield in it. It takes place in war with a man who his religious beliefs, he doesn't believe in violence, but he still goes off to war, and he's kind of made fun of and abused for that, but then he turns into a war hero. I think this trailer, good to see Mel Gibson back directing again, and I think with Andrew Garfield, I think he's got a winner here.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what Mel Gibson's going to create as a movie or whatever, but this is definitely a movie that I'm excited for. They even have Vince Vaughn in it, which is funny.
Trying to be a serious actor again.
Right, but I'm really glad that they're going to bring this story to the big screen. I think this is very interesting how a man, doesn't even carry a weapon onto the battlefield, yet he's still able to do so much amazing things. And so this is a perfect recipe for a movie, and I think it's going to be an absolute amazing movie. Let's just hope that it turns out on the movie aspect really good, because we got a really good story. Let's just hope that the movie aspect turns out great. But I'm really excited for this one. This is probably one of my favorite trailers of this week.
Yeah, and Andrew Garfield again, always good to see him now doing more stuff since he's done with Spider-Man. I think he's a great actor, and he's got that southern accent going on in this trailer. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited. I think this is my favorite trailer we got this week.
Yeah.
But moving on, we got the second trailer for The Accountant, which after the first trailer, this has become a movie I'm really looking forward to this year. You got Ben Affleck, and he plays a super kind of autistically smart guy who's just super picky on everything, and he cracks books for mobs and everything. I think It was really interesting, and this trailer I think sold me again. It didn't like blow me away by any means, but I think it just sold me on why this is going to be a really good movie.
So yeah, I think this is going to be interesting. It's Ben Affleck, obviously, and it shows how his character is kind of separate from society. He's autistic, doesn't have great communication skills, but yet he's able to go out and crack all this stuff, as you were saying, and I think it's absolutely going to be interesting as well. It's going to be probably breathtaking. It's going to be engaging, and obviously it's Ben Affleck, who I really enjoy. So this one I think will be interesting, as you said.
Yeah, and I like that Ben Affleck actually talked in this trailer, because the first trailer I don't think he had any lines, which is kind of weird, but this trailer you got to see more of him, and he is like he says that he doesn't really know how to communicate with people, and Anna Kendrick is going to be the one that tries to break through to him, so I think this is definitely one to look out for.
Yep.
And then we got, I think, the weirdest trailer of the week. Like, when I saw this, I thought it was bizarre. We got The Great Wall with Matt Damon. It's a movie about, it's kind of like a conspiracy movie about why the Great Wall was built. And then you got Matt Damon walking around with all these Chinese people. It was so goofy. I was like, why is Matt Damon in this movie?
Yeah.
Like, why is any white person but in this movie? Like, it's so weird.
Yeah, it was definitely weird. One interesting fact about this movie is it's the largest film ever shot entirely in China. So I think that's really interesting, that they kept it all in China, so it's really authentic. But I think it's definitely an interesting story. It is one of it is the biggest wall in the world, and there has to be some reason why they wanted to do that. So it kind of brings that mysterious factor, but yeah, I mean,
why is Matt Damon there?
Yeah, it's definitely a short trailer as well. It's kind of like the first one, so who knows what we're gonna get from this one, but interesting concept, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it's set to come out in like February of next year, so never a good sign. It's a good concept, but I think they're just gonna they're just turning this into like a generic Matt Damon action movie because they can. So I don't really know. It's a short trailer though, so not much to take away from it. Yeah. We're just getting the gist of it. Then the final trailer we've got the first trailer for a movie coming out in December, I believe, Office Christmas Party. You got a big cast of comedians in this one. What'd you think? I really did not know what this movie was going to be, honestly.
Yeah, this one's going to be very interesting. It's chaotic, but I think it's supposed to be chaotic. I think.
Yeah, the trailer's all over the place.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of people, as you said, in this movie. Basically, a big group of people that want to throw an office Christmas party. Some people are opposed to it. Most people aren't, and so they just go crazy inside of this big office building. But yeah, I mean, who knows? These Christmas movies, either they become the next hit or they just completely fail and we all forget about them. Everyone's kind of chasing for that next Christmas vacation. Do I think this is going to be it? I don't know, but I mean, it has a lot of good people in it, so who knows?
Yeah, you got Jason Bateman, Jennifer Aniston, and the people that I thought looked funniest in the trailer were T.J. Miller and Kate McKinnon. I thought they looked like they're going to be really fun in this movie, so I'm definitely looking forward to it by the cast alone. But the movie itself, I can't really say it's going to be a good movie. But Christmas time, they're going for that hard R Christmas comedy, just like a trailer dropped a couple weeks ago that we didn't review. I can't remember what it's called, but it's James Franco. That movie, like something about introducing his dad, but that one's also going for it. So I think this one looks better of those two, but I still can't say it's going to be a great movie.
Yeah, who knows at this point? I'm not really thinking about Christmas at this point.
Yeah.
But so who knows? Maybe once the winter time in December comes around, maybe we'll get more excited for this. But as of right now, yeah, it definitely seems kind of unknown what we're going to be completely expecting.
Yep, and so that's it for the trailer reviews, and now we're going to get into our movie review this week. Jamin sat this one out. He did not get to see a new movie this week, but I finally came to a theater kind of near me, Cafe Society, the new Woody Allen movie finally came around, and I went out and saw it. And so just going to do a pretty quick review of it, not going to take up too much time because it's just me. But basically this movie follows Jesse Eisenberg in 1930s Hollywood, and he moves out there with his uncle Steve Carell is a big-time agent, and he moves out there to try to start a new life away from his family in New York, and it's got Kristen Stewart, Blake Lively, just a big cast of people. And the first thing is everyone is really good in this movie. Jesse Eisenberg, he's usually like the fast-talking, like kind of annoying guy, and he is that in this, but he's really likable in this movie. They paint him in a really good light. And Kristen Stewart actually really surprised me because I really haven't seen her in anything except for Twilight, so I don't think of her as a great actress, but
Right.
really good in this movie. Steve Carell, he was cracking me up in this movie because because it's 1930s Hollywood and he's an agent, so he'll be having a serious conversation with someone, then someone will come up, we got Marilyn McGee to star in the new movie. He's like, put her in my office, call her Tuesday. Then he'll get back to a serious conversation. He kept doing that. I thought it was really great. And this movie, it really surprised me because going into it, I'd heard it was just, modern Woody Allen. It's just kind of fine, you'll forget about it. But I'll agree, the story is not all that original. It's just kind of a love story and following a guy in his life. But I really, I got sucked in by it. It's got a charm to it, and I love 1930s Hollywood, and I got sucked into that. And so I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah, I think it definitely sounds interesting. I actually want to check out this movie.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, so when you said that, I think, yeah, I definitely should check this one out. The 1930s Hollywood stuff interests me, plus I love all those actors, so I think it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, and the movie, I loved it overall personally, but I have to acknowledge some things that did bug me filmmaking-wise. Woody Allen always uses narration in his movies, and the narration in this movie, I think it didn't allow me to think for myself at all. It kind of explained everything that was happening. I didn't think that was necessary. Just let me it's a pretty simple movie. There's some moving parts to it, but I can connect it all together. I don't need to be told this is this and this is why they're doing that. So that kind of bugged me. And also there's a side story of it with Corey Stoll. He was the bad guy in Ant-Man, and he's really good in this movie, but he's kind of a gangster, and that got a little it got a lot of screen time actually, and I was confused. I was waiting for the stories to mesh, and they never really did. It kind of felt like Woody Allen wanted to make a gangster movie and a love story set in 1930s, and he couldn't, so he just put them together. But I thought they were both well done, but they never really clicked for me. But again, overall, I did really walk out surprised and loving this movie. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I definitely recommend you and anyone else who enjoys Woody Allen or just is into the cast in the 1930s Hollywood to check it out.
Yeah, I definitely think I will.
Alright, so thank you guys for watching this episode of the J Reviews show. Let us know down below what you think of the trailers and news we got this week, and if you've seen Cafe Society and what you think of it. J Reviews.
Signing out.